You know what they say, give a man a piece of toast, feeds him for a day. Teach a man how to make toast. Well, he'll develop a really weird obsession, create a hat out of a toaster, and just go and kill some people. I don't know, I think it goes something like that. What's going on, YouTube? Chop Celery here, and welcome to my Swiss Army Engineer build in Wasteland 3, specifically for Supreme Jerk difficulty. Now, this build video, I'm just going to review the gear for my character, the attributes, the background quirk of this character, skills, perks, and then I'll finally just go ahead and turn it over to some real-time gameplay, so that way you can just see it in action. So, without further ado, let's just jump into it, and tell you what, let's just go ahead and start with attributes, background, and quirk. So for the background, I chose Sex Machine just because I really value an efficient action economy. And what I mean by that is so that way I want to make sure that I can move as many blocks or move as much distance as possible with as very few action points. Since Sex Machine helps me do that. So it might not look like much, but for picking this background you get plus 0.2, so that essentially just puts 2 points invested into speed without really investing 2 points in speed. So for the quirk, for this engineer type of build, I really decided just to go with Medical Marvel. I wanted my character to be pretty durable just because there will be times that I will be running up, I will be using my shotgun, I'm probably going to be hacking a robot, I'd probably throw out a deployable and then go repair it. Like, there's going to be many times I'm just going to be in the fray, and I wanted to make sure my character was a little bit more durable. Compared to like picking Poindexter, which is something I considered just because it does give you a lot more points at the cost of having reduced health per level up. I don't know, so I really banked on just being a little bit more healthy with this character, just in case I get attacked once or twice in the fray. Now for my attributes, I did put a lot of points into coordination, maxing it out, awareness, and intelligence. So coordination, I want to have as many action points as possible. Awareness, I wanted to have as much range damage as possible. And then intelligence, I wanted to have as much of a critical chance and as much critical damage bonus as possible. So that's really why I put these max into coordination, awareness, and intelligence. I did put a couple other points into strength just because, same thing with Medical Marvel, I just wanted more health per level. So just for more survivability. Now in terms of right out of the box, I did not touch charisma nor speed, but I did take 1 point away from luck because I never bank on luck, so I just put it into another point when I started this character. Now let's move on, just talking about gear. For my helmet, yes, I am wearing the toaster helmet. Keeps your head nice and toasty. Plus 4 armor. It's probably my favorite armor piece in the whole game. I was actually using the machine shop helmet right before, just because it did give me the +1 passive to mechanics and a little bit of armor. The toaster helmet can be found in Yuma County Speedway, the Godfisher Wind Farm, and it's actually at the Payaso Clown Burger joint. You're going to go ahead and repair one of the toasters there, and then you'll get this as a reward. So for the chest, it's more so for roleplay purposes, just because it is the machine shop chest. It's leather, treads, engine parts. That's very mechanic, engineer-y looking, and the NOS tank is just for fun, so why the hell not? Right out of the box, the armor set, or the chest, just gives you +4. I modded it to give me an additional +6. That's why it is at +10 right now. So for the legs, the commando legs give you, right out of the box, +0.2 combat speed. I did put in a mod to give me an additional +0.4, so that's why it's at +0.6. So between my commando legs and then the background of this character, I have an additional 0.8 combat speed. So I just invested like 7-8 points into speed without really investing points into it. So I'll be able to move further on less action points. Now in terms of utility, I went with the cyborg tech for the cerebral modem. It does give you +1 to nerd stuff, which is great, and then also you get a new ability, the cerebral uplink. So for 2 action points, it's going to target an enemy robot or synth and inhibit their systems, temporarily stunning them. It is going to do a little bit of energy damage, and it's going to apply system crash, so just a good crowd control ability. Let's say just in case you've already hacked another robot, this will just give you another tool in the toolbox, just to take down more enemies. Now for my primary, it's a shotgun, energy shotgun, the Pulsar. I got it from my own armory back at HQ, like Ranger HQ. I actually recruited Brygo's people from Little Vegas to be my armory, and this was, I think this was either the second or the third batch of weapons, but it's a unique weapon, and I love it. There's 2 waves, like basically 2 shots for 3 ability points. That's pretty good. And then my sidearm is just the K cannon. It's actually Vic Buchanan in the Aspen quest line. I think you find this in the room where you find him, and just does fire damage. So that way, you know, whichever enemy type is in front of me, I'll at least have that element covered. Now for the quick slot, man, you can really put whatever the heck you want here. Half the time I find that I don't even have the right thing in the freaking quick slot item. So I'm always going into my inventory, but I found that using EMP grenades are pretty good. Robots, they have a 50-50 shot of becoming glitched. It's going to cause them to attack allies for 3 turns, so you could really decimate the battlefield. And there will be encounters where you will be fighting a lot of robots at times, so I just find it's a good item to use, especially as an engineer. You can also have like repair kits, just because of the next one I'm going to tell you about, like just having a deployable machine turret, laser turret, maybe assault pup, you know, something like that essentially acts like a pseudo decoy that's also going to do damage. So I really value deployables. They've saved my butt a couple times just by being, like I said, imitation decoy. You know, they're a pseudo decoy that has helped my team take the fire off of us. So now, in terms of my skills, we'll jump to that. I put a lot of points into mechanics, nerd stuff, small arms, weird science, and I did put 1 point into first aid. So we'll start at the bottom. First aid, I put 1 point in it just because now it gives you access to using like med kits. You know, just a good thing to have. Another good healing, like a utility item to have. I put a lot of points into weird science just because my primary weapon is energy, my sidearm is fire, so it just made sense to put that in here. So I'm going to get energy, fire, and cold damage bonuses increased by 24%, so it's going to pack a little bit more punch with our attacks. Small arms, I'm using a shotgun and a pistol. Both of these weapons come from they're accessible through the small arms line, so just good to have for higher hit chance. Nerd stuff, it's just good to hack, you know, computers, turn hostile robots, you know, on your side temporarily. So, and then mechanics, same thing. Being able to fix generators, machines, and as well as disable generators, very, very important. In addition to, you're going to deal more damage to robots, vehicles, synths, just by having this line in addition to using an energy weapon. So you're really going to tear through robots, vehicles, and synths as your engineer. So moving over to perks, though. I do have the cyborg tech, so that way I can implant cybernetics. I do have healthy, just give you more health. I have investigative eye and martial training. Both of these do not affect the build, so I will not be going over them at all. Small arms, I did pick up opportunist because your strike meter is going to charge a bonus 5% faster for successful hits. Draw is a very important one, so your first attack after reloading an empty weapon is not going to cost you anything. This I feel like is pretty broken. I'm actually going to be putting out another build pretty soon that showcases how broken it is when it's used with explosives. The last one within the small arms tree, I just put devastation. So a shotgun attacks, they're going to gain additional 25% damage for each enemy that is hit by the same shot. So when there's a lot of enemies and they're stacked all together, man, you can really do a lot of damage. There have been times with this engineer, I'm able to move up to a spot and shoot twice. So, man, you can really do a lot of damage. Nerd stuff, I just chose targeting override, so that way the robots that you hack are now going to be attacked by their own. So it's just a good way to take down enemies quicker. For the mechanics line, structural weakness is great. You're going to deal even more damage to robots and vehicles. Handy is good. Your deployables, they gain more health and they're going to deal a little bit more damage. Reinforced plating is good, so when you are going to run up, like I have, just repairing either my Kodiak, Morningstar, or just a deployable, they're going to gain more health for 25% more health for 3 turns. So it's really just good for survivability. For the weird science line and the last perks, I did choose overcharge. So for 1 ability point, action point, whatever that was, You're going to gain additional damage for cold, energy, and fire on your next attack, but you do have a 5% chance of it blowing up in your face. Hasn't happened to me yet, so I have no idea. I'm assuming that just kills you outright, but hasn't happened, so oh man, it's probably going to happen after this. That's just how my luck goes. So for the last one, microwave research, energy damage is increased by 0.5 bonus damage for every point of armor that the target has. So imagine using like an energy weapon, the shotgun that I have, attacking a vehicle with a lot of armor. Oh man, you're going to do so much damage. So I just feel that this microwave research perk, it's good, so that way you'll not only do a lot of extra damage, you know, for enemies that are susceptible to energy damage, but you're also going to deal a little bit more damage to enemies that are not as susceptible to energy damage, so like humans, animals. God, I'm pretty sure that's it. So the really other two enemies that you fight in the game, they're just going to take an increased damage as long as they have armor from energy. So, friends, that has been the build in short. Thank you for sitting around the campfire and discussing this build with me. I'm just going to go ahead now and turn it over to some real-time gameplay so that we can see it in action. All right, take care, friends. Bye-bye.